what's going on? What's going on? It's Stokely from Sauce on Delay. Man, I don't have a lot of time, so I'm just popping on to talk some junk. You know, I'm seeing a lot about the carnivore diet. And people talk about the carnivore diet, and people talk about, really, I think it's just a copy off of the Atkins diet. I think it's just a copy off of the Atkins diet, which was primarily meat. And I think the premise, from my limited understanding of it, is basically starving yourself of carbohydrates to reduce your fat. But at the same time, you're still getting protein, which helps to develop your muscles. And your muscles help to burn fat. So you're burning, you're fighting your visceral fat. You're fighting your visceral fat. I'm not educated in these things. You're fighting your visceral fat in two ways. First, you're starving yourself of carbohydrates by primarily eating meat. So, carbohydrates turn straight into sugar. So now that you got rid of the carbohydrates, or you reduced the carbohydrates, now you have less fuel, right? Now you also have an increased amount of protein, and the protein helps to build muscle, because even bodybuilders, they take whey protein, they eat a lot of eggs. All of these things are protein-rich things that go into their muscles and help your muscles grow. And in your muscles, there's a lot of things that happen in your muscles. What's the thing called? Oh my gosh. What's this process in the muscles? Oh my gosh. Okay, so your pancreas produces insulin. Okay, that's what it is. So insulin is processed in your muscles. So you're also, if you're increasing your muscle mass, or if you're more geared towards protein, and your muscles are getting a lot of if your muscles are being developed, but people think that they're just gonna do these things without any exercise. People think that they're just gonna eat this or change their diet and not exercise, and everything will be fine. Now, if you don't exercise at all, you're just doing one part of it. If you don't exercise at all, you're doing the carnivore diet. Yes, you're minimizing the number of carbohydrates that you're eating, so you're lowering your energy and the energy storage and the energy that turns into fat. But if you're not working out, you're not developing the muscles that are being fed by the protein. You're not developing the muscles that are going to burn the fat. You're not developing the muscles that are going to be processing the insulin. So it has a potential. This carnivore diet does have some potential in helping you with your diabetes, I would think. In helping you with weight loss, yes. But in my limited understanding, at the same time, you should probably not be consuming too many carbohydrates or sugars. Still. But anyhow, in my limited understanding, your stomach, the bacteria in your stomach primarily like to eat plants, not meat so much. So you might have some digestive issues. You might have constipation. There's no fiber really, in my understanding, when it comes to meats. And I think there's some gastric issues that could potentially develop from that. But there's a lot of benefits too at the same time. Like I said, it helps to build your muscles. So if you're exercising, I think if you're exercising and you're getting rid of the sugary stuff, and you're cutting down on the carbs, you'll be fine. But you could probably still accomplish that in a more balanced way if you still just exercise, cut out the sugars and the carbs. But we don't really want to exercise at all. And I'm looking up things, and they say one way to prevent Alzheimer's is by exercise. one way to extend your life and slow aging is exercise. One way to help your brain even restore your hippocampus is by exercise. So exercise is so important. So in my limited opinion, whether you're on a carnivore diet, aka Atkins diet, or you're on a keto, whatever, Mediterranean, whatever you want to talk about, without the exercise, it's not really gonna be maximized. You're gonna get it in one way. It's gonna benefit you in one way, but it's gonna be a very slow process, and you can get maximized results with some walking, some yard work, some cleaning, some rearranging of stuff, just some physical activity that at least gets your heart rate up. You don't have to be lifting weights and running 10 miles, but a daily exercise is very important. Anyhow, that's what I gotta say. I work in an office all day. I sit down all day. My midsection is just widening, in my opinion, and I understand that with everybody. We're all for the most part, we're all service economy people. We're not manufacturing laborers and stuff like that for the most part. And that kind of work is very demanding. I don't think I could manage that work. It would be rough on my back. But carnivore diet. Yeah, I don't know about the gastric part of it because your gut really likes vegetables. But I think if you're talking about eggs, like this guy named Eddie, this Instagram personality named Eddie from England. He talks about eating a lot of meat and stuff like that. There's a lot of people that talk about eating meat and talk about grass-fed meat. I just did an episode where I'm like, I'm not really pro beef. I'm really against beef like that because for one thing, a cow has 86% human DNA in it. Maybe chicken is okay. Chicken is only 60% DNA, which is the same amount of DNA as a banana. So I think a chicken and eggs, those are good options, but I don't really believe in the beef. Plus it takes a long time to digest. You don't want a lot of waste and bacteria, and you don't want a lot of waste stuck in your gut. Your gut has a hard time breaking down beef, and human stomachs can't really, from my limited understanding, digest raw meat. But like I said, my understanding is limited. So, making your steak medium rare or whatever, just, rare, that's probably going to be not good for you. But, the carnivore diet, yes, it has some, I think, benefits to it. But if you're going to be on a carnivore diet, I would say maybe stick to fish and chicken and eggs and beans. And I think you'll be all right. But stay away from the beef and the pork and the goat and the sheep and the lamb. That's my opinion on it. Thanks for listening.